Welcome back, everyone. Toyshiz here, and I am back yet again to serve up yet another DC Multiverse video. And today, we're going to be checking out the brand new McFarlane Toys Static Shock action figure. And of course, this is Static from the Milestone universe, DC universe, in the more new 52 look. I think a lot of people, when they first saw this, they're like, oh, I have a different look in my head for Static Shock. But yeah, this is based off the new 52. If you flip the box around, that's when you'll go, oh yeah, that's the costume that I was looking for, and I'm part of that that group. Yeah, I was really hoping for that, to be honest with you. Here is the barcode for Static Shock. He's starting to hit Walmart store shelves now, and that's where I found mine. And of course, you have Static Shock from the Milestone universe, bled into the DC universe eventually, which is great. Created by Dennis Cowan, Michael Davis, Derek Dingle, and of course the late and great Dwayne McDuffie. How I know Static Shock best, though, is from the Saturday morning cartoon, and I really liked both of his outfits. That was very cool. I like the more black and blue outfit, the later seasons outfit, but really started to watch it when he showed up on various team-up episodes between Batman the Animated Series, Justice League, Batman Beyond. So once I knew that he was part of that whole DCAU continuity, I went back and watched Static Shock. It's not a bad show. It's okay. It takes a little while to get going, to be honest. But like I said, this particular figure we're looking at today hails from the new 52 look. So just keep that in mind. But this is going to be fun. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot cup of coffee. This is a look at the brand new DC Multiverse, straight from the new 52 comics universe. Of course, Static Shock by McFarlane Toys. And of course, here is Virgil Hawkins taken out of the packaging. He does come with several accessories, which are pretty well done accessories. I will say this. It's a very complete figure if you look at what he comes with, as opposed to just being in the normal, oh, there's the figure, yada yada. You get what I'm saying here. But he does come with, now it's a little bit different. This is more of his honeycomb. He surfs around with either a manhole cover or a disc. He does have a peg on it in this version, the new 52. It's this kind of honeycomb design, which is kind of interesting. It's very flat, but it does the trick. He also does come with two particle electricity effects, which clip onto his wrists. Thank you for doing this. A action figure with powers? Very cool. I love it. And he also comes with the flat DC Multiverse stand, which I totally would have been happy with because it reminds me of what I'm used to Virgil surfing around on, as opposed to the honeycomb design. But both work, and I'll show you both coming up later in the video. Now, with Static Shock himself, you take yourself out of it, you go, okay, it's not the ideal look that I like for Static. However, for what is there, he does have some nice paint. The paint on the goggles is two-tone. That's very cool. The hair doesn't look all that great. Overall, the figure does remind me of Static Shock's appearance on the later Justice League Unlimited episodes where they go to the future and all that kind of stuff. So I like that it reminds me of that. It's definitely not my favorite costume, but just because of how I feel towards the costume, it's not that big a deal. We'll just look at it in terms of what's presented with the figure. I like the jacket. The articulation is sound. He has all those new articulation points. A couple instances with the yellow amidst the darker blue jackets could have been painted a little bit better, and the yellows don't always match, especially in the joint for the wrist that goes into his yellow glove. So little minor things like that. But the rest of the jackets, the white, the yellow, is all pretty crisp. The one thing that I think would benefit McFarlane overall is figuring out the best way to implement the diaper. I think it works, and then it works against them with some figures. You get a little bit more movement out of it. I think it works better when the character has a belt or something to kind of cut that off, right, at the midsection. Because you see, you get a lot of articulation out of it, and it works with the character. And of course, you have the feet and all that jazz with the toe articulation. However, this is one of those characters where he has so many lines that need to be lined up that when you start twisting him, it breaks up the sculpt. It has a lot of things working against him. Now, I wouldn't say he has much of an ab crunch, if at all. It really doesn't do much. More towards the top is where you get the most articulation. And with the knees posing him on the board, as you'll soon see, it works. But they really, if you can figure out the best way to implement the whole diaper crotch situation, that would be ideal. Also, just something to point out, it kind of looks like he's wearing a pad right there. I'm sorry, Virgil. I had to point it out. It was like the first thing I was like, bloop, yep, that don't look right. But overall, like I said, for what is there, for how this figure is portrayed, he has the right platform to zoom around on. He's got powers and effects. They nailed it on that. I wish more companies would learn from that, especially in the X-Men category. They simply clip onto his wrist. Do I need extra hands for this guy? Maybe an open hand just to kind of pose him out a little bit better would have been nice, but it doesn't really work against the figure at all. I like the fisted hands. However, I think an extra peg on the honeycomb disc would have been nice, just to kind of situate him a little bit better, because after a while it kind of starts to sag with just the one foot. But like I said, I really do like the flat black DC Multiverse because I like the disc that he used to zoom around on. The honeycomb doesn't really do anything for me, so you just give me that and I'll just be quiet and have fun with the figure. Now, in terms of the scalature, Virgil is shorter than most of the DC Multiverse figures of recent releases, so that's kind of cool to see. I'm stoked. That's a different type of body, and that totally works for what I think about with Virgil. And when you pair him up with Batman, by the way, go back and watch those episodes where he pairs up with Batman, both in Batman the Animated Series, Batman Beyond, all that kind of stuff. It's actually a lot of fun. Definitely check it out. So that will wrap it up for my look at the brand new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Static Shock from the new 52. And you've heard my thoughts. Now I'm curious to know yours. Comment below. Let me know. Let's talk everything Static Shock. And yes, in the future, if we can get more of a design that resembles the cartoon and the comic, that would be ideal. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember, just be happy we got a Static Shock figure. That's actually pretty cool. Well done. And when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.